Electric vehicles were supposed to be the future. Quiet, clean, efficient, and affordable for everyone. But if you've tried shopping for one recently, you've probably noticed something frustrating. EVs are still expensive. Whether it's a Tesla, a Ford Lightning, or a Chevy Blazer EV, prices often cross the $40,000 to $60,000 mark, putting them far from reach for many everyday Americans. So why, after years of promises, innovation, and billion-dollar investments, are EV prices still so high in the United States? And more importantly, when will they finally start to come down? In this video, we're going deep, beyond the headlines, beyond the hype, to uncover the real reasons behind high EV prices and what the next few years could look like for buyers waiting for that breakthrough moment. Let's start with the first big factor: battery cost. The battery is the heart and the most expensive component of an electric vehicle, often accounting for 30 to 40% of the total price. While battery prices have dropped significantly over the past decade, progress has slowed in the past few years due to rising material costs. Lithium, nickel, and cobalt, the essential minerals that power EV batteries, have all seen price spikes because of global demand. Even though supply chains are improving, the world's hunger for EVs has outpaced the production of these materials. As automakers compete for limited resources, the cost gets passed down to consumers. The second reason is manufacturing scale. Building EVs is not just about swapping engines for batteries. It's about retooling entire factories, retraining workers, and redesigning supply chains from the ground up. Traditional automakers like GM, Ford, and Stellantis have spent billions transitioning to electric production. These investments are huge, and companies are still in the early phase of scaling up. Unlike gas cars, which have decades of optimized production behind them, EVs are still ramping up to mass volume. Until automakers hit that scale, producing millions of EVs per year efficiently, prices will stay relatively high. Then, there's the infrastructure factor. Charging stations, energy grids, and battery recycling systems all play a part in EV pricing. When infrastructure is limited, automakers must include larger batteries to ease range anxiety, adding more cost. The US is still expanding its charging network, and while progress is visible, it's not yet widespread enough to allow smaller, cheaper batteries to dominate the market. Once fast charging becomes as common as gas stations, automakers will be able to reduce battery sizes and costs, but that's a few years away. Next, we can ignore the supply chain disruptions that began during the pandemic and continued through global conflicts. Shortages in semiconductors, shipping delays, and labor challenges all push production costs higher. Even as things normalize, companies are rebuilding supply networks that are more local and secure, which is great for long-term stability, but takes time and investment now. Another piece of the puzzle is government incentives and policies. While the Inflation Reduction Act offers generous EV tax credits, not every model qualifies. Some cars lose eligibility because they don't meet North American assembly or battery sourcing requirements. This has created uneven pricing where some EVs appear affordable with incentives, while others don't benefit at all. As these rules evolve and more manufacturers localize production in the US, we'll see broader access to credits, and that will help reduce real-world prices for buyers. Let's talk about technology and R&D costs. Automakers are racing to develop better batteries, from solid-state to LFP, and now LMR chemistries. These technologies promise longer range, faster charging, and lower costs. But until they're fully commercialized, the R&D costs are baked into current vehicle prices. The good news? Battery innovation is accelerating faster than ever. GM, Toyota, Tesla, and startups like QuantumScape are all pushing breakthroughs that could reduce battery costs by up to 50% within this decade. Once that happens, we'll enter a true affordability era for EVs. Now, here's something many people don't realize. EVs are already cheaper to own, even if they're more expensive up front. When you factor in fuel savings, fewer moving parts, and less maintenance, the lifetime ownership cost of an EV is often lower than a gas car. But of course, for many families, the challenge is the initial price tag, and that's where the next few years become critical. So, when will EV prices finally drop? Industry analysts predict that by 2026 to 2028, we'll see a massive wave of affordable EVs hit the market. Companies like GM, Hyundai, and Volkswagen are already preparing sub-$30,000 electric models. Battery recycling will also start feeding valuable materials back into the system, easing raw material costs. Combined with scaling factories, improved battery chemistry, and more competition, the cost curve is expected to finally bend downward, permanently. One major catalyst will be LMR batteries, lithium manganese rich, a chemistry that promises high energy density at lower costs without relying heavily on expensive nickel or cobalt. Another important shift is the rise of domestic production, with new battery plants opening across Michigan, Ohio, Tennessee, and Texas. American-made EV components will soon replace imports from overseas. This not only stabilizes supply, but also qualifies more vehicles for federal tax credits, directly lowering consumer prices. By the end of the decade, we'll likely see EVs that are not only cleaner and faster, but also truly competitive with gas-powered cars in every way, including price. So yes, today's EVs might still feel out of reach for the average buyer. But we're standing on the edge of a transformation. The groundwork is being laid right now. From smarter factories to cheaper batteries. From national charging networks to recycling innovations. Every major automaker knows that the real race isn't just about range or performance anymore. It's about affordability. The first company to deliver a reliable, stylish 400-mile EV under $30,000 will change the entire auto market forever. In just a few years, the conversation will shift. Instead of asking, "Why are EVs so expensive?" we'll be asking, "Why would anyone still buy gas cars?" The tipping point is coming, and it's closer than most people think. Until then, the best thing we can do is stay informed, watch the innovations unfold, and get ready for a new era of electric mobility that's not just sustainable, but finally affordable for everyone.